Louisiana beer reviews. Tetley's Smoothflow. Tetley's Smoothflow English Ale. Well, the English ale was introduced in 1822 and it was a cask beer. I don't know when they came out with the widget can, the Smoothflow can, but it's I know it has been a Carlsberg brand since 1998. Tetley's went through a bunch of ownership groups, and Carlsberg is the most recent. It's 3.6% alcohol, so in the United States that's considered an extremely light beer as far as the alcohol content. It's brewed in England. I've never had it. I bought this at Rouse's supermarket in downtown New Orleans. It was about $8.99 for the 4-pack, so it's expensive. So let's see how this beer invented by Joshua Tetley, or developed by Joshua Tetley, tastes. It says on here 5/12/13. At 3:05, does that mean it was made on May 12th, 2013 at 3:05, or does that mean it goes bad on, or it should be drunk before December 5th, 2013? I don't know. Anyhow, it's not old, so let's check it out. Gets a good score on Beer Advocate, very good from the bros, so they're saying it's good, but then Rate Beer saying 20 out of 100 and 9 out of 100 for the style. You'll notice on Rate Beer a lot of the common beers they give terrible scores to, so, and then Beer Advocate they'll be a little fairer with common beers, especially the bros. They'll give a fair shake to stuff like Schlitz, junk like that, stuff like that. All right. It's already very hot out here, just after 8:30 in the morning. And it's going to be a lot hotter, so it's going to be tough washing my car, I'll tell you. It's going to be hot. Cool looking can, I have to say. Then you have that roiling head building up. I was looking at some reviews. Swillengrog didn't like it too much. He said it was only a 5 out of 10 fair. But then Glenn, G. Halloran, he liked it. He really thought it was interesting and good. So it's hard to say. I've never had it. Don't know what to say about it. It's a very amber appearance. It's quite bubbly, although, you know what? Are those bubbles? Yeah, I think those are tiny, tiny little, no wait, let's see, the bubbles are ascending. So these are tiny little particles. Yeah, little bitty particles of an indeterminate color. Okay, so it's an amber colored beer and it has that creamy white head, slightly off white head, like you get with these nitro widget beers. All right, let's go with the aroma. Well, it's very interesting. It's got a rich bread toast, not toast, bread crust aroma. Maybe there's crust from the bread toast, toasted bread. It's rich. It's caramel, maybe toffee, maybe nuttiness for sure. I'm trying to think. Some kind of candy, like I've smelled this before. I'm trying to think where I smelled this. Is it some kind of candy I've had? I'm gonna see if they had a description on the can up. I know I've smelled this before, and I'm sorry, I just cannot place it. But whatever it is, I like that aroma. Yeah, it's like a nuttiness, like a. I know where it's coming from now. When you go to the brew house at Anheuser-Busch in St. Louis, Missouri, and they're in the middle of the cans rolling everywhere. I better throw it on the grass. And they're doing the brewing process, and that you get that unfinished product, and it's got that really bready smell, yeasty smell. My daddy said it smelled like something else. I'm not even gonna tell you what he thought it smelled like, but yeah, it has that. It's really, oh man, I could sit there and just smell the beer instead of drinking it. But no, of course, we're gonna try the taste. Wow, it's got so many different delicate notes on it, in it, with it. Don't know what preposition to use. You get the crust, the white bread crust. You get the breadiness. You get sweetness. You get the caramel, the toffee, the slight nuttiness. You get that creaminess and the head coming in with it. Butteriness. Some, like Swillengrog said, some tea-like qualities, tannic qualities, like at the tea leaves or at the bottom of the dregs. It is not so watery. The body is medium. It's soft. There's some slickness to it. It's not too prickly though. The carbonation goes straight to the head as far as the body. I think they're trying to make it cask-like. The whole time you're sipping it, that aroma's coming in, that rich fermented aroma. I can't even describe it. There's a bitterness there on the tongue. It's a subtle bitterness, but it's like a balanced bitterness. It's like this beer is perfectly done. Like they took the sweetness and the nuttiness and the butteriness and the bitterness, and they put them all together in a complete package. But I mean, what do you expect? This is a classic old English ale from 1822, and now it's owned by Carlsberg Group. And I mean, everything I've ever had from Carlsberg was like executed to absolute perfection. You know, the Carlsberg lager and the elephant and a lot of the other stuff. I just think these people are master brewers, right? So 3.6% alcohol. You could drink 2 or 3, you're probably not even gonna feel it. I wish it was higher alcohol. I wish they had like a bolder version of it, like a 6-point-something%. They just don't. Well, I was thinking this is not worth $8.99. I'm getting a rip-off, but I have to try it. But now I'm thinking, well, that's $2.25 a can. Yeah, it's worth it. It's worth $2.25 a can. Okay, I promise you, this is an exceptional beer to me. A lot of the mass-produced beers get ripped because they have these subtle taste and aroma notes. They're not really like rushing at you. Many of the smaller breweries, they make very bold flavored, bold tasting beers that are super sweet and super bitter and super hoppy, and they rush at you with a slap in your face, and I don't mind that. But I don't know if they can always pull off the subtle nuances of beers. So that's one thing I appreciate about the big companies, the Molson Coors, the SAB Miller, the Anheuser-Busch InBev, the Carlsberg Group, Heineken International, those the big five. They have finely tuned beers. It's like, you know, the dial on the old stereo sets. It's like, it's not a number, it's not going 8 to 9, it's, you can get in between it. So yeah, it's a solid A. It's most excellent in its fineness, and I would highly recommend it. If you see it, buy it, try it. I think you'll love it. On the other hand, I can understand that you might hate it and say it's bland and watery, but I don't see that at all. So les bon temps roulés. This is a most excellent beer, and I'm gonna end this review by saying, y'all come on down to southeastern Louisiana.